This meeting is being recorded.
All right, y'all, let's get it.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot.
What up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the In the Zone podcast. It is your boy, B. Foster. Brian Foster's in the building. Happy 2023.
Yes.
Happy New Year, you all. I hope you brought it in safe. I hope you had a good time. I hope you were with family and friends. And the year has started off well for you. We're not even going to mess around today. We're not going to do a whole lot of fancy stuff. Like I said, I'm coming in hot. I got opinions. Me and Chantel don't agree on none of this shit. So I love when we argue.
Agree on one thing.
We agree on nothing. We agree on nothing. Nothing I say.
God.
Hold on, everybody. So as you all know, on Christmas Eve, we sat back and we did the Bestman holiday. Had a great time. 2 years prior to that, we sat back and we did the Best Man, the second most viewed episode ever of the In the Zone podcast. And generally, we have the doctor, Angela Bell, on us for these Best Man conversations. She is otherwise entangled this morning. So we have brought in, of course, my lovely, my vivacious, my intelligent, my wonderful,
come on with it,
co-hostess of the In the Zone podcast, my girl, Sean Watson. What's going on, baby?
Oh my God, my greetings are never that fabulous. I need to come on here more often.
Only on Saturdays, nigga. Only on Saturdays.
We turning over a new leaf for 2023. I love it.
Only on Saturdays. On Wednesdays, I'm shitting on you every time.
Hello, party people. Hello, ladies. Thank you guys for letting me, hop in here. I know how very sacred the four of you all are with recapping these, so I feel very honored I can come in here and argue with Brian on Robin, but we'll get to that in a second, I'm sure.
That raggedy bitch.
We will have none of that.
Oh, yes, we will. We're having it today. Oh, we're having it today, people. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, and then, of course, are consistent on these, the co-hostess with the mostest, the most popular woman I've ever had on the In the Zone podcast. You all know her, you all love her. Kenya Simone.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm excited about this one. I loved this whole series. Sean, welcome. We're glad to have you with us. We're ready to get into it.
Let's do it. And then, of course, it's not a movie, so she probably watched this intently. We know she... We know she only watches the movies when we ask her to be on here, but she was hyped for this one. She said, can we delay it a few days so I can rewatch it and take notes? She is eminently prepared.
Yes.
My girl, my sorrow, Miss Shanae. What's going on, lady?
Hey, everybody. What's happening? Happy 2023. Welcome, Sean. I'm excited. Excited to be
It's going to be a
here.
good time. Hold on as I go live on a few places.
Shanine, I'm gonna rely on your notes because normally I come very prepared for these movie / show reviews. I did not right now because I'm in the process of moving. So,
Oh, congratulations.
we gonna share notes.
Nuh-uh, this ain't. You gotta take the test with your own notes.
This ain't a study group now.
Right, what the hell is this? This ain't Folger and you and I. You can't just be next to each other. That's not how this works.
I love it.
Anyway, as we have gotten, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm still getting us a little live everywhere. But anyway, as you
Let
all
me just
know,
state the obvious while you do
Go
that.
ahead.
Yes, my tree is still up. It's not coming down. Maybe next week. It's the most beautiful time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. Why are we
You are in the spirit. It's okay. We'll give you an extra week.
I
Normally, I don't let people get an
like
extra
she
week.
still got that damn tree up. Yes, I do.
look, not only the tree, but she got some other shit in the
holly
window. She
And you
got
already
stuff
know
on
how
the
I'm
table.
going. If I'm going, I'm going. Like you already know. It's
She got candy canes
more than
still
just a
rolling.
tree. Come on, you've known me for years, sir.
Hey, facts.
It's always
They
a
go-
little
they go-
extra.
They
But
staying
it's all
up to
good.
Easter. Are you that type of person where they stay up to Easter?
No, it's not that bad, but I just go all out when I'm doing stuff all the time. So
yes, you do.
it's not gonna stay up that long.
I love that about you. All right, y'all. So as we were all enjoying the holidays, and Kenya clearly still is, we were kind of chilling, watching the Bestman Final Chapters, 8-part miniseries on Peacock. Everybody named Mama I know watched it, so we are super excited to come out here and break it down. So we will just jump right into it.
Let's go.
Kenya, what did you think about this miniseries overall?
Who'd you say?
Kenya, you.
Oh, me. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The first episode was like a little, where's this going? Is it going to get better? I know a lot of people felt that way, but I loved it. No, stop it.
That's our opinion.
I loved every minute of it. I did not love Candy's wigs, terrible. So you got Tyler Perry's people to do that clearly, because those wigs were awful. We talked about that a little touch of it last week, but overall, amazing. Love seeing the growth and maturity of each character, and that's going on that ride with them once again. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Shanae?
Same. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yes, I intently watched it. And I actually watched it twice, the whole thing twice. So yes, it is not a movie. It was a series, and I was so into it. Mm-hmm.
Shanine, do you remember where you were the first time you watched? No, I'm just kidding. She never remembers. She never remembers.
I was hoping that you would ask. Yes, I was right in my living room for the first time. I actually really I was hoping you would ask. I was like, they're not going to ask that.
First on the In the Zone podcast, Shanae remembers when she saw something for the first time. Sean?
Okay, so I will start off by saying I had very low expectations for this because it's been like 2,000 years. So I was like, how good could this possibly be? I was pleasantly surprised about how interesting it was. I was very interested in some of their storylines. I didn't know where like some of the storylines were going with like Shelby and things like that. So I was similarly to Kenya, right? I was like, I don't know. But overall, I really enjoyed disliking people. I enjoyed seeing, one thing I did not enjoy is all the Facebook discourse, but I'm sure we're about to get into that in a hot second. But overall, I really loved the series.
Wait, how could you not enjoy that?
The discourse? Because it was stupid. We done made the wrong person the enemy.
Wrong. All right, so agreed. I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't have super high or super low expectations, right? Because the space between the Bestman and the Bestman Holiday was about the same. So, and I thoroughly enjoyed the Bestman Holiday. So I didn't think that they could not make another enjoyable piece. I was a little worried that it was going to be an 8-part, like little miniseries type situation. I was like, rather than a movie, let's see how they make that happen. And what it felt like to me, tell me if I'm wrong, correct me if you felt differently. The first 2 episodes felt like it was a movie, right? Like that would have been the movie had they put it out in theaters, and it would have sucked. I would have left the theater mad as hell. They ruined it. They blew it.
Yeah.
But the other 6 episodes felt like a genuine television series building up to something, and redeemed the first 2 episodes. Do you all feel the same?
I feel that. I think because I think they were talking about getting together for a movie, so it very well may have been that was where it was going, and they're like, no, we need to expound a little bit more on these characters, and I'm so happy that they did.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that until you said it, Brian, that the first 2 episodes felt like what a movie would have been. That wasn't in my thought when I was watching it, but that makes sense. I could see how you would feel that way. And you're right, that would have been a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. As you notice, usually I put these on behind me and we play it you see, I skipped the first 2 episodes. I didn't even want to grace it with any more ratings.
But you need the first 2 to set up the other episodes.
Did you really?
How else would Shelby and Quentin have gotten together if they didn't?
I didn't need 2 hours of that. You could have done that in 30 minutes.
Well, that's probably because we just watched Best Man Holiday. A lot of people haven't watched it recently. Like Shanice, was that you, Shanice, said that's not your go-to holiday movie?
No,
So people may not have seen it in years, and you need that little refresher.
And why y'all lying? Best Man Holiday kind of sucked, but that's okay.
No.
Oh, we will fight. You lucky we are not. You are lucky. We are not doing that. We are not doing. We got enough to fight about. We are not doing that. What sucked about that movie? Yes, we are. We're doing it. What sucked about that?
It sucked. Outside of Mia, and it took me a minute to remember her name because she wasn't in the series. Outside of the Mia storyline, which I thought was good, them dancing around, them bopping around a Christmas tree.
Hold on, the New Edition scene didn't do it for you.
I could have lived without that.
No.
No, all right, so we are muting Chantel for a hot second. We will not have "Can You Stand the Rain" slander on this show. We won't have it. We won't have it.
I love it.
Anyway, back to this series. So yeah, I think the first two were a little slow. Now here, okay, so here's my. Let's just kick it off. Let's just start. I did not thoroughly disliked and thought she was completely wasted, Nicole Laurie Parker. What in the fuck was that? Well, what was she supposed to, what was that? Somebody help.
Her entire point was to get Quentin and Shelby together. That was her entire, she was the plot device to get them together. Outside of that, I completely agree. She was completely wasted. I would have loved to have seen her in another 2 episodes being Zen, and I would have loved that, but she was a completely wasted character.
No, so this is what I got from Nicole Ari Parker. Some people feel like, okay, I'm evolving, I'm growing, I'm maturing, and I'm on some other shit, right? So that was his other stuff. She was eclectic, and she was when she walked in there, like, oh my gosh, she's gliding. She was like, hello, like Mother Earth. So we're used to Q being this rambunctious out there wilding, but if he's trying to grow and mature, then he's attracted to something different in that moment. You know, people be like, I'm done, I'm new, I'm all Zen. And that was that representation of his growth. But really, Q is who he is, and that's why he and Shelby ended up getting back together, because you like what you like, you are who you are. And even when you're trying to grow and evolve, you got to be true to yourself. And it wasn't true to him. So I loved her role. I thought it was hilarious. Where people think like they found themselves, and then this is what comes with that. And he's like, this is a bunch of bull. Like, I love who I love, needs on both knees and all that good stuff. So, but she wasn't a punk. She wasn't super Zen. She was throwing shade from the very beginning.
No, she wasn't. I'm not saying that. I agree with you. I think her purpose was clear, and I 100%. I just the way it was written, I was just too over the top.
I'm with you, Brian. I felt like had she been in the rest of the movie, I would have stopped watching. I wouldn't.
If what?
Had she continued on throughout the series, I probably would not have watched it anymore, because she was just a caricature to me, and it didn't even fit her, like the real Nicole Laurie Parker. Well, I mean, I don't know her, but it doesn't seem like it even fit her. I mean, but then yes, so right, she was just a caricature, and I guess she did that then, because that's who she was. But I was just kind of like, ugh. But I loved all of her and Shelly's scenes.
Shelly, right?
Shelly.
But you know, brothers will grow some locks and be like, I am peace. I am Brother King. You'll be like, I know you, man. Come on. So it kind of fit for me.
Happened to Common.
Right.
Is that the only thing I really hated that the end of her character was setting the house on fire. I didn't think that made sense for who we knew that character to be. Like, her cursing him out, that would have made sense. But burning the whole hut down or villa down made literally no sense.
Gotta throw in a little bit of that way.
Right. Yeah, just what I'm saying. Like, I guess that was supposed to be like, when the get down comes to the get down, is who she really is. She crazy and hood, just like the rest of us. But it's just too much. It's just over the top.
Low-key stalking, like you find her appearing out of nowhere behind
the bushes and poles, like. Yeah.
Trash.
So
He's like trash.
Trash. Let me ask this. I do kind of want to get into this a little bit. So since we kind of focused on the first 2 episodes real fast. So the young lady that works at the resort. I can't think of her name.
Jasmine.
Love that name, by the way, Jasmine. So she's hanging out with Lance and she's kind of calming them and giving them this, different vibe and taking the edge off a little bit or whatever. And she hanging out and going running and blah, 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 blah. Why did it take until like the 4th or 5th day for her to tell that man after they've been hanging out that she was engaged?
He didn't ask.
Why would she have to find out with that?
It's inappropriate for her to be hanging with that man. She got a fiance.
She wasn't really hanging
They
with
were
him,
running.
Brian. They were running into each other at the resort, which happens all the time. It wasn't until he kind of like invited her, like, can I run with you? Can we do? She's like, whoa, wait a minute. I gotta let you know I am engaged. She's working. That's her job, to be pleasant to everyone at the resort.
To be all up in his face while they stargazing. Oh, Mr. Lance, look at the beautiful sky. Get the fuck out of here.
Your mind went there. Our mind didn't. She is doing her job.
I know she was definitely flirting, Kenya. You crazy.
Was flirting. But listen, you can flirt with, never mind. Just finish
that thought.
No, you can be nice and like lightly flirtatious without
wanting to get down. You're right.
I'm a flirt. That doesn't mean I really want you. Like, stop.
No, she's right.
Yes.
For all the guys out there watching, pay your first, but that means she wants you, bruh.
That's right. Buy them drinks if you want to. They ain't gonna get you nowhere, brother.
Right. Like,
weird if on the first interaction they're talking, she's like, I'm engaged. That would have been hella out of place.
The first interaction, but there was clearly some moments shared where there was something, she felt the thing between them, and she should have A, removed herself from the situation, and or B, mentioned her fiance in some casual way.
Or
they were talking about sunsets and stuff. That would have been weird for her to remove herself. You sitting there talking about a sunset.
And my fiance and I, we come here often to watch the sunsets. Boom.
She did. So what I will say is that when the first time she ran by, okay, that's cool. But then that second time, is she out there doing all that? Okay, why are you outside of his?
Right in front of his villa.
Because why should she deviate from her normal routine?
That wasn't her damn normal routine.
No.
She usually stretching at the hostess stand. Now she all outside. Who we fooling here? Who are we fooling?
Flirting. It's okay to flirt a little bit. Why flirting?
Mm-hmm. While we're go ahead, Shanae.
I was just gonna say she also saw how loose he was too with all of the other women. So she did, when she did kind of see, oh, he might be trying to push up on me. Let me go ahead and just let him know what my situation is.
I mean, she did it. It could have been more timely. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, she was cool with it. Like, in case you're lost, your villa's that way. So she was really cool with it. I liked her stand on it. She gave him looks and made him feel like, damn, maybe I shouldn't.
Yes, she held him accountable.
She held him accountable. Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's cool. While we're on her though, I do. This is another chink in the armor. So did she get married? Did she not get married?
No, it doesn't seem like they did.
But they're not like. I don't get it. What happened?
They broke up. They weren't on speaking terms. She said she didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve.
That's it? That's all we get?
What else did you want?
What else do you need? Now you need me to come out the gate. I got a fiance. Now I got to tell you, let me tell you what happened between us. You don't need all that, sir.
Yeah.
Did they get married? Did they get married?
I don't think so. No. I think they just broke the engagement off.
And she told him that. He's like, I don't think that worked out, bruh. And he was like, really? And that's why he brought it up. And then she said, oh no, we're not even on speaking terms. And I think he tried to allude to like what happened. She said, I don't even want to discuss it right now. It's New Year's Eve. And he was like, okay, I'll respect that. Don't get that brother no unnecessary airtime. It didn't work out. Bye.
I agree. And here's the real question though. Why it take him so long to say something to her after he knew she wasn't engaged any longer? Brian. The only man on the.
All these questions were given to me.
Well, I assume Kenya and Shani, maybe they have a response, but as the resident man, why it take him so long to say something?
So he finds out that Well, I mean, it's not like they hadn't spoken since, right? So it's a little odd for me now to be out of the blue calling somebody that it's not like I guess they exchanged numbers. I guess how do you even get?
No, they talked over what IG,
oh,
I guess.
Something he accidentally swiped. Oh, that's right. He
Swiping
on
IG.
on Facebook or whatever. Yeah. So he didn't even have a number. So how exactly was he supposed to be reaching out to us, Chantel?
The same way he just did. He accidentally called on IG. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah,
he accidentally called her.
Accidentally called. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We know y'all be watching. Y'all be scrolling on my pages.
Who wants to be that goofy?
But you want us to be that goofy. I got a fiance. Goofy.
Yes.
Yes. Let me know to put my penis back in my pants. That's all I'm saying. We just gonna eliminate a whole bunch of confusion.
Lord.
Okay.
And he was slanging that penis throughout almost the whole dog.
I'm talking about all the time with no hesitation. So he wasn't too worried about that.
No.
There's a scene right behind you. I think he about to slang it some more.
Where? No, not here. This ain't on the resort.
Well, I just saw the jogging suit.
Yeah. How many of y'all wanted a frontward facing view when he got naked in the pool? Raise your hands. Be honest.
I wanted a frontward facing view when he opened the door with the robe. I was like, can we? Not a frontward facing, but pan down just slightly, just
to the little cut. You know what I mean? Like that little D'Angelo. We wanted the D'Angelo on that scene.
I would not have been mad at that at all.
Sorry, fellas. I have to appease the ladies. Yeah, I can't. Why you asking that question, Boss? I gotta ask. All right, so let me ask this, because as Kenya said, we've taken this ride with these characters for 2 decades now, over 2 decades. Characters for 2 decades now. What? I'll ask this first. What couple did you kind of relate with the most, or enjoy the most, or however you want to frame it? Who did you get down with the most as a couple? Shanine.
Terrence and Shelby, for sure. Yes.
Tell me why.
Favorite. Why?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they're just so. Both of them are cool, down to earth. They.
Whoa, down to earth. I don't know about that.
I don't know about Shelby and that girl being down to earth.
Down to earth.
Down to earth.
In their relationship.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Their relationship, they're cool, down to earth, like they can laugh together, they dancing, they felt safe with each other after, all this time, finally admitting, that they really love each other. They are my favorite. Like, they are the couple that I would want to hang out with. Like, I would want to double date with them.
Okay. All right. Kenya?
Definitely Shelby and Q. For some of the same reasons that Shanine named, but just because for me, they were true to themselves and they found love. Like they were open to that. She played herself. She didn't know what was going to happen. And she was throwing herself out there, putting herself out there. And then finally he did the same thing and they won. So they won at love to me. And dancing, laughing, enjoying each other, having a good time. And even her schooling him on like, look, this little girl is me. So let me tell you how to play her. She's playing you. Stop getting the bags. Stop, catering to her every need. That's a mini me. Let me tell you how to do this. And I think that's needed in relationships. Like, who's getting over on you? Like, no, you're not gonna get over on my man. This is my husband. Stop buying her bags. Stop spoiling her. So they just had fun. They were genuine. Even their arguments were hilarious to me because they were so real.
Okay. Sean, I feel like you do not agree with this synopsis.
Well, as Shelby is the enemy, or at least the person I dislike the most in the series, I'm definitely, not that I don't appreciate their love story, as odd as it was. Like, I get it. I get why people like their love story. For me, it's going to be Mooch, I forget.
Merch.
And Candace. For me, they probably had the most balanced relationship. They had the relationship that all of us want, right? Where the woman is being, well, in this respect, where the woman is being professional, right? And her husband is supporting her and she's supporting him in his career, right? And you can see that this father is, because she decided to go in her PhD, he's taking the load with the girls, taking them back and forth. Like, those are the things, if you think about how we talk about relationships, we actively want to see. Granted, you do see these complexities. You do see Candace be assaulted and him support her there. And then you do see him struggle with his identity and find it through kickboxing, which I actually appreciated too. I think they just had a more holistic perspective of relationships, and you see these little ebbs and flows that I think we all see in our relationships. I enjoyed theirs the most, I would say. I'm sure you thought I was gonna say Harper and Robin. No, they were definitely my least favorite.
Who's gonna pick Harper and Robin?
Somebody would. I don't know, not me.
But Shot, what you were saying, I get that. I see that perspective, but they didn't even see each other. Like, she was hurting for a while when that man touched her, and he didn't see that.
That's true.
They were so disconnected to me. He came home with his ass kicked and nobody noticed. I swore.
That was weird.
So they were just kind of like passing ships to me.
But I think that's also indicative of actual relationships, right? I think you do have parts of your relationship where you're not connected and you have to find your way back to each other, where you do. I think, to me, that was the closest I could see to actual relationships. I don't think, Brian, you've been married 200 years in a total of both your relationships. I'm sure you could say there are times where you all are very, very close. And then there are other times where you all are ships passing in the night. I don't think that's an unrealistic
But you sleep in the same bed with somebody you don't know his ass is kicked, his face is beat up.
I'm not saying that at all. But I mean, to be fair, right? You sleep in the bed with people.
Hold on, Sean. What'd you say, Shanine?
I said, Candace came home crying, and Murch, literally crying, and Murch did not even hear her crying. Like, he didn't even wake up, and heard her crying. I feel like that was a little unrealistic there. Your wife walking the door, I don't care how beat up, he is and napping and stuff, unless he took a pill that knocks him completely out. She cried, and you don't even hear it. That was weird to me.
Yeah, I thought they were weird. I thought they were probably one of the most unrealistic, or just disconnected.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Sean?
I forgot, but I forgot. I don't know. Maybe I'm a heavy sleeper. I probably would miss you crying too.
He's like, I'm a heavy sleeper.
I can sleep through gunfire. So you crying in the corner, I'm definitely not gonna hear.
Hey, I'm crying. I'm crying over here.
You hear me crying over here.
But the kickboxing thing, I agree. I thought that was hella weird. But if you listen to people in their relationships, right, people will have things going on that their partner knows nothing about. And I'm always like, how the fuck don't you know your partner spent $3,000 on a bag? Like, how is this possible? People do it. There are things big happening in people's lives. They miss it all the time. So I don't find, like, I get why people love Quentin and Shelby. But for me, it was Candace and Murch.
I think these are all excellent points. So I found myself, I guess the first answer in my head would have been Quincy and Shelby, because you wouldn't have seen that coming, and just the way they both were all over the map, not only with each other but just period in the two movies, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see Quentin, that's how I call him Quincy. I'm sorry, Quentin in the first two episodes, kind of still, he's with his girl, but you still like, that ain't really cute. Even everybody give Harper so much shit about not being a good friend, blah blah. He's the only one that called it out. Everybody's like, he's getting married, he's happy. Why are you tripping? He's like, that ain't my guy. I know my guy. This ain't my guy. So to see the way they loved each other in a way you didn't think either were capable, much less together, I think is why everybody kind of fell in love with them as a couple, because they truly and genuinely did care for and love each other, and you wouldn't have seen it coming, and you just felt like this thing between them that I think we all kind of searched for, right? But the realistic part of that, to Sean's point, is that's also still new love in a way, right? Like, they only been together a couple of years. The daughter is older. You don't have no diapers, no toddlers, not running around to practices and all this other stuff that can distract you when you're in a relationship that Murch and Candace have, right? They've been together, 20 plus years. They've got the two teenage or preteen girls. They opened in the academy. She's going for her PhD, and they got, all this other stuff. And Murch is going through his own personal hurt that she didn't recognize, right? He was going through it behind how he's portrayed in this movie. He was going through it behind consistently being the butt of the jokes of his friends. He was not being seen or feeling appreciated by her, even when she's like, well, I'm gonna go to the professor's office to work on this paper. Can you take the girls? He's like, you didn't even ask if I had something else going on. She's like, well, as a co-parent, ... It's like, damn, hold on, true, we co-parenting, but how about babe? You got anything? Could you please, do the thing with the girls and . You threw that to the wayside real fast when it was a big deal for you. You missed going to his boy's premiere so you could go to this thing. And then when it was your shit, out the window, and I'm just supposed to hop to it like I've been hopping to. And she was disconnected from that. And Sean's point is, in relationships, that's kind of what happens. And you got to figure out how to navigate that and work through that and come back together and appreciate everything the other person brings to the table. And you forget about that in the flurry of what's going on in your life. So I think my favorite couple was Shelby and Q, just because they were just so unexpected and crazy in love. And like they two teenagers, they all love each other. That's just adorable. But the reality of it is Murch and Candace are probably the most stable, the most realistic of the crew. And while they both might seem a little boring, they have been each other's rock for an extremely long time. And I you gotta appreciate that. As quick as we are to throw relationships out the window, it's awesome. And he got over marrying a dick sucker stripper, so I'll always root for that. Do your thing, black man. Do your thing.
Is that what we have Candace at? Okay.
Yeah, he was going through like a identity or midlife crisis kind of with who he was. Even with the scene in the cab, Murch always falls back. That's how Shelby did him. If we think all the way back to the first Best Man, he's just, oh, okay, Shelby, okay, whatever. But that cab thing really stuck. It really struck a chord in him. And then the movie, just seeing himself on the big screen as this like little puppy dog running up behind her, and he's like, man, is that really me? Like, yeah, that's how they view me, and really, that's who I am, and I don't want to be this anymore.
Yeah. That MMA shit was
the manliest thing he could do.
The ultimate fighting,
beat the shit out of other men, Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. All right. So we talked about the couples. Let's dive into this. What character did you disconnect with the most? Sean, I'll start with you. Which character did you?
I know who the villain of the series was for me. It was Shelby. I'm sorry. Look.
Okay. Wait. Let me ask. Of the entire 2 movies and this, or the series?
I mean, she's always been built up to be the enemy, but I haven't seen them in so long that I didn't have any of those residual I dislike her feelings still in play. Like I haven't seen either movie in maybe 10 years. So that wasn't in play for me. So I was looking at this with fresh eyes. She's over the top. The 10-year him not knowing that's his baby was stuck in my craw. The entire once it came out, it's stuck in my craw. Like, bitch, what?
How did he get past that so easy?
Y'all, everybody else got past that. It was stuck. The rest of the series, I was like, fucking bitch. The whole
series. Trash. You're trash.
So sorry, people. I know everybody loves them and she grew and yada yada sis boo bada. And I saw all that, but Shelby she's the worst. Sorry. Hands down.
Okay, fair enough. What character did you disconnect? Like you were like, oh, this motherfucker.
Who did you say?
I said, who did you not connect with at all? Which character are you kind of like, in real life, I wouldn't rock with this mug at all?
Robin kind of felt all over the place to me this series. She was all over the place. Obviously, she was crushing on another dude. She didn't know if she wanted to live in Jamaica, and then it turned out to be Ghana and taking the baby away. She was just all over the place. Despite, I'm not saying Harper was a good guy in their relationship by no means, but she just felt scattered to me. You know, she was trying to find herself. And so I didn't really connect with her this time around.
And she was in the movies too.
And she's always been all over the place. Remember,
That's fair.
like,
She has
like,
been
what did
all
she
over
do
the
again?
place.
He's like, she's a chef. She's a goddamn chef. They're like, butcher, a baker, the candlestick maker. Like, they didn't know what it was this week with Robin. And yeah, she didn't grow much.
So who's your picking?
Mine is Merch, just a pushover. Like, he just kind of goes with whatever somebody wants him to do, whoever they want him to be. Merch has always just been a pushover to me. And I'm not attracted to that. I'm not connected to that at all. So yeah, he was my the least person that I connected with.
Well, that's why Candace, when she saw him kicking ass in that cage, she was like, is it weird that I'm turned on? Right?
Exactly. Like he can do that, you know. Even like the cab situation, no ma'am. Step out of the cab, please, you and your little dog. Like and then all the scenarios in his head were hilarious to me of what he would have done or wanted to do. And then he walked right on by. Like,
but
just let it go.
Defense,
that was Merc. I'll just let it go.
Okay.
I'll just let it go.
But that's what in that scenario, that was the right call. Right? The cops, your daughters are there.
But that's always his call. That's always his call.
I'm saying in that specific scenario. But yes, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't have to make a big deal, like get out now. And the little white woman's always going to win when it comes to a black guy. She's like, oh, I'm in distress. That's all you need to say. But just that was always his call to just stand down. Even when he doesn't want to, even when he feels like he's not being seen or heard. He has always been known in all of the other movies and most of the other episodes to stand down.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, let's get into this.
What about yours?
I was going to say, you don't have somebody you disconnected with?
Oh, do I? Oh. Well, let me lead with this. I don't know that I connect necessarily to any of these characters in a way. They all are imperfect and flawed, and I enjoy that about not only the series but the movies, like the entire thing. They all have a piece that I can connect with and be like, that's cool, I love that. I go get a drink with this dude, and there's other pieces like, nah, you wrong for that, homie, or come on, girl, what you thinking, or how could you do that, or whatever the case may be. So there's no perfect person in this. Even Mia, right? Like perfect angel Mia.
That's what made them so relatable.
Yeah. So that's what adds layers to these characters and these stories, and I think that's why it's persevered for so long. But to your point, Chantel, like obviously Shelby's set up as the worst, right? You hold back your daughter from the father for 10 years, and then you just kind of spring it on them, and then it's like you're superficial, you're self-centered, you're money focused, you're fighting age. I mean, I guess we all probably do that our own way, but like you got all these other things going on. But god damn, 10 years you ain't tell this man? That's bogus. However,
here it comes.
No. At least there was some growth to her character, however. She's all these awful things, and in certain ways continue to be. But in a lot, like, you saw her grow in her friendships. You saw her grow in her relationships with the other women. You saw her grow and change in her relationship with Quentin, right? You saw her trying more with her daughter. You saw her
and with his dad, with Quentin's dad. They came together to, yeah.
Exactly. Professionally, she could change it up, right? She was like, all right, this housewives joint ain't where it's at. I've got more layers and depth to me than this. Let me put on my glasses and put on lawyer or whatever, attorney, whatever she was.
Yeah.
Attorney Shelby. She just, caring about, Quentin and his health. And I mean, just all of that, right? She had all these other things to her we had not seen any of previously, even in the first 2 episodes of this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Robin. Let's get into her. That motherfucker sucks. It is awful. Now, I'm not going to say that Harper did not play his part in the destruction of their relationship. He absolutely did. The kissing Jordan thing, unforgivable, unacceptable. However, Robin's true issue was not with Harper. Robin's true issue was with Robin.
Yeah.
And she blamed Harper. Everybody's been saying Harper didn't support her. Harper was running around doing this. Harper was running around doing that. Harper backed that woman on everything she wanted to do. And the shit failed. And then when some other man comes and puts an opportunity in front of her, she wasn't even chasing. She wasn't even thinking about it. It was on her vision board from 10 years ago. She hadn't done shit to do it. But the hot little Shatari mushroom man comes and gives an opportunity. And Harper's supposed to jump and buy a property in one of the most expensive real estate markets in the world on 24 hours notice, because that's what she wants to do. And because he didn't move fast enough, he didn't support her. Fuck out of here with that nonsense. She has proven time, and I think it's this scene right here where it goes down. She has proven time and time again to be flighty. She has proven time and time again not to be a good businesswoman. She has proven time and time again to make bad decisions. And it's cool to do that when you spending somebody else's money. It's cool to complain about him not being around when you taking your daughter to protest and you getting arrested. Let's not even talk about that. Nobody wants to touch on that. That irresponsibility. It's easy to want to feed homeless people and run shelters and open a kitchen that charges what people can afford, right? That's all noble when you got somebody else hustling behind the scenes paying the bills. Then you can't complain about him not being around or him not being in tune. And then you haven't said a word. In therapy, she says, I haven't relayed these feelings to him at all. Your husband's not
where's your effort? Yeah.
Your husband's not a mind reader, ma'am. As a therapist said. So everybody's coming down on poor old Harp, who ain't shit, by the way.
Very self-centered.
Very much about Harper, and sure, he's doing that for the family, but he's doing that for him too. Let's not think that he's not. But Robin is all over the map, and as opposed to taking accountability for her own failures, her own feelings, her own inequities, she puts it all on Harp. And then steals that man's child.
Oh my God.
Ghana.
She didn't steal him.
She stole that little girl. And then when that little girl was turning around, waving by to her daddy, what she do?
She took her hand.
Turned her ass around.
I didn't like that scene.
No,
I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that either.
She took that little girl from everybody she knew, loved, cared about, and took her to Ghana. And who says that's the better choice? Because she thinks so?
Yeah.
Right.
Trash. Trash. Get a hold of your own shit, woman. Take accountability for your own fuck ups. Don't put
Okay,
on that black man.
let me say this. In her defense,
I'm out. I'm done with it.
In her defense, she never, she was so flighty. I'll say that she was switching this. I want to do that. I want to do that. But when she found her niche and wanted his support, he didn't have it to offer to her.
What niche was this?
She wanted to start doing more with the food and then going to Ghana when she got into that thing.
He never stopped her from doing any of that.
He said, I just want, what did he said, oh, we can go to take 100 trips to Ghana with the money I'm going to make. She said, I just wanted this one.
Yeah, because she wanted to do whatever that tour was. I forgot what
whatever
it was.
Whatever the tour was. It could have been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for her. She's backed his once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. She's rolled with him all throughout the years. She did not want to move. She liked the brownstone they had in Harlem or wherever. And he's like, now we got to do this. And what the next scene, they were in the house.
And he pressured her to get to that house.
Harper always wins in that. So she found something that she was really passionate about. And yet again, Harper didn't show up. So
this is yet again. Why do we keep saying yet again?
Because she kept changing her damn mind all the time. And he
backed her on everything.
Not really, though. He really didn't.
She wanted to give away 25% of his salary. She did it. He didn't say shit. She wanted to do the box meal thing. He backed her. It failed. She wanted to do some garden shit in the back. He said the shit that's untended to right now. He backed that.
That was the best scene. But I'm thinking about collectively. I'm just thinking about from the first Best Man, the Best Man holiday. She was always riding with whatever Harper wanted to do, however Harper wanted to do it. Even when she knew it was probably like, no, you got to talk to Lance. He was like, yeah, no, I got this. Didn't value her opinion very much. And she just kind of played the bat. Well, now she was stepping up kind of finding her own, which is what everybody wants for the people they love. Find your passion, find your niche. And then when you do, it's like, yeah, I got this going on. Harper I get strike while the iron is hot. I know you have to do that a lot. But he's also like, this is my book, this is my story. You can tell your agent, I'm going to be I can still talk to you from Ghana. Technology is one of the best damn things ever created.
True.
We learned that in the pandemic, it don't stop nothing. You don't have to be right there. You can still be in each other's faces, like we're in each other's faces and all the viewers' faces right now, but we're not in the same room. So he could have considered that and gone to Ghana and did things through technology. He decided not to.
I agree.
And can I add this point? This gonna be a hot take. You ready, married man? He's not doing her any fucking favors by supporting her in her endeavors. That's what you're supposed to do as a spouse. You're supposed to support them no matter how flighty, stupid,
100% agree.
Failed written. Your job as a spouse is to support them through and through. So he did not do her any favors by doing what the fuck he vowed to do for her.
I'm not arguing that he was doing her favors. I'm arguing that people were saying that he didn't do any of it when he did. I'm just pointing out the things that he did. Not that he should be given cookies and applause for it, but you're not going to just short that man and say he didn't do it. That's all I'm saying.
He didn't. And to be fair, right, that real estate thing, let's not act like she was 10 minutes later, the house was sold. Some time had passed.
Yes.
And we know real estate moves depending on the market and depending on where it is, either very quickly or very slowly. And from what we got from the thing, that a significant amount of time had passed and he had moved.
No, it was not significant. It wasn't significant.
It wasn't 2 days later.
It was like 2-3 days later.
I need to rewatch it.
No, I don't believe it was that.
It was like 2-3 days.
I know she said we need to move on this today. And then it wasn't 2 or 3 days later. It seemed to me that some time had passed.
It seemed like it at least been a month.
He was like, oh yeah, I didn't even get around to it ever at all. Like, come on.
Yeah, so you gotta be fair. You didn't even look at it. You didn't even really look into it.
He wasn't there. You think a month had passed and she hadn't been on his ass about it?
I don't know, but we can only go by the data we know. And let's talk about that for a second, how motherfucking Harper disappeared for what seemed like 2 years. Nobody had any communicado for him. And this happened during that time.
He was gone a month.
And then you wonder why the shiitake mushroom man was giving her attention and feeding into what she was interested in and gave a damn about what she cared about. You wonder why Mr. Shiitake Mushroom had her looking at his mouth while he was eating the mushroom. Like, come on. She's like, he sees me.
I bet he wanted to feed her all right. He wanted to feed her something all right.
Me.
Shanine, what you got? Come on, Shanine, jump in there.
I'm with you, Brian. How are you? I mean, I do feel like, sure, the one time that she actually spoke up and said, this is what I'm interested in. But I mean, if he wasn't there, then he couldn't jump on that opportunity. I imagine had he been in town, they would have gone to look at it. You know, he wasn't there for him to say, okay, let me do a virtual tour and then just go ahead and make that purchase. No. I don't think that is realistic. And again, yes, she was crushing on dude because she didn't want to be in her marriage no more anyway. She was already tired of that marriage, you know. She already felt like she was never enough and she should have spoken up more. She didn't have to take the back seat. She chose to. So don't be mad because of your choices and your decisions.
So don't be mad at her when she decides, I'm going to Ghana. And what did you say, stealing his child?
Stealing
she did not steal his child at all.
Stealing my child.
Because when you finally decide what you want and need for yourself, nobody should be able to take that away from you. I didn't like that. I wouldn't want them to work out where the baby was concerned. I didn't like that.
Exactly, Shanine. She's running away from her own shit. She was like, we're gonna go to Africa, but people look like us and you ain't gotta be super Negro, blah, blah, blah. That's all about you. That's your shit. Your failures coming through. You can't hack it in America. So you think running to Ghana is gonna be your answer and it's better for the kid.
Mad because your husband buy you a bigger houseway.
Because she didn't want it. She did not want it. I thought about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. She had just bought a farm. She wanted to be on that farm. He's like, no, this is the Hollywood dream. No, Will, that's your dream. It's not mine.
That's
And
fair.
she never really chose to. I like that. She never really chose to speak up before. But now she's damn tired.
Okay. Then
And
take
that's
your
what
ass to Ghana and leave me here. You can't just roll off with my shorty.
Well, you've been gone a month at a time, and
very infrequently. They say only when he's finishing his books does he kind of bury his
what
head.
about when he's writing his books?
That's what I'm saying. When he's
That's
finishing,
When he's writing his book, he disappears and writes for
And then
time
when he has
wise.
to do the tours of promoting, selling, book tours, a lot of that stuff comes with it.
Oh, he's successful. He's got to be traveling.
No,
oh,
he can't.
I'm
But
sorry.
why would I leave her with him? They just have to set up something joint if it's not working out. But
Shit,
I don't
can
have
you?
to sit and suffer in silence because I'm not happy and it's not working out for me.
But that's the agreement they made. That's why he said she could have the house, and he was living 4 blocks away, so they could co-parent. And then at the mediation, she
live
just
4 blocks away,
or whatever the case may be.
That's what he wanted.
Okay,
she didn't want that. She's always gone with what Harper wanted.
But you say if you agree to that, you agree to the co-parenting, you've agreed to that, and then in the final mediation, you spring, I'm going to Ghana. Why you ain't say nothing? Because I didn't want to argue.
I said that earlier. I did not like that. But I'm not going to crucify the woman for finding what she wants and speaking up on that.
I mean,
I
Brian,
can't stand his ass. I cannot stand him.
Brian, be fair, right? We all go through life making choices based on what we think we want to do at the time. That's all of us.
Mhm.
None of us are that structured where we never change our minds.
Sure. Exactly.
And sometimes shit don't work out and we have to pivot, right?
Agreed.
Robin is no different. Shit was not working out with her. Every time she tried to do something, it didn't work out. She needed to find something else that potentially could work. And you can't know if something's going to work until you try it
out.
I'm not begrudging Robin the opportunity to go do whatever she wants to do. But when you have a child in the mix, it does not become about you anymore. It's about that kid. And you're not going to tell me that I can parent effectively 6 continents away. It's just not realistic.
Get divorced and go be with shiitake mushroom man, since that's what you really want to do, and be happy and still stay in New York.
Move to Chicago, move to LA, move to Denver.
This is what I said when I saw that scene. Robin played that shit all wrong. As soon as Harper was like, don't take my baby away from me, Mama sue you for custody, I said, you can have her. I'll come and visit. We'll see how long that shit would have lasted if he was taking care of her.
Oh, now the black man can't be a father.
I didn't say he couldn't be a father. That ain't what I said at all. What I said was,
I love it. I love it.
That's what I would have did. I would have said, okay.
You want her?
You can have her. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Ghana and I'll fly back and forth. We'll see how long it lasts.
That's tough.
With you being the custodial parent.
But Brian, what's the difference between, other than, I know there's a huge flight, but if you're gonna say move to Denver, move to Chicago, move to Wyoming, she's still moving. You're still not gonna have your daughter full time. So what's the difference between moving?
Agree. That's not ideal either. I'm not saying that's ideal. I'm saying I can hop a flight to Chicago. If I'm in Chicago right now, if we move to New York, I can be in New York in 3 hours.
Yes.
Going to Ghana is a whole other situation. I can go to New York every weekend. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not what I want. I want to see my kid every day, every other day, half the week, whatever we're going to decide to split. To see my kid 2-3 times a year, probably. And
FaceTime more money than that. He wouldn't have to see her 2-3 times a year.
You can do all that there if you really wanted to.
I guess they don't work.
I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can. As a writer, yes. But if he's trying to make movies, well, you got to be in the mix. I know technology is technology, but you got to shake hands. You got to kiss babies. You got to do certain things in person. Now, can he fly back for that shit? As opposed to staying there? Probably. So I'm sorry. Go, Shani.
We got some comments from the audience. So, Shamika Butler Golden says, well, why did she marry that man?
Agreed.
She was young. They were young.
Alifia, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing Alifia. She says exactly, Harper never gave her any indication that he would be a good husband to her. Harper has always been self-centered and she signed on for that.
So
Agreed.
Yeah, that don't mean you get to just like the selfishness forever because you signed up for it.
No. Again, I'm not saying you can't leave me, motherfucker. Bye. But you ain't taking my shorty to Africa. It's just not happening.
But you could take her to Wyoming.
I don't want that either, but that's more manageable.
For you?
And
For who? For
treat
you?
for every for her, for my daughter to actually see her father more than 3 times a year. Yes.
Why are we saying 3 times a year? This man has millions of fucking dollars.
It's not
see
about
her once a month. I don't
It's
understand.
not just about once a month. Once a month isn't sufficient.
It's not ideal, but it's better than 3 times a year.
This man is working as Kenya said, he's got book tours, he's got a movie preview, blah, 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 blah. He got work. You know who's paying for Robin's lifestyle in Africa? Harper.
Facts.
She want to live in whatever little villa or whatever she got and cook food for the village kids and shit. Guess who's alimony and child support paying for that? Harper. I gotta work, bitch. I can't be fucking around in Ghana.
Will work, and me and little baby Mia are gonna be where the hell we are. And then we'll work it out.
I got a question. So I said Harper should take her, and you were like, he can't be a daddy, nigga. You just said he got book tours and producers to me.
That's what nannies are for. That's what all types of. He's rich, right?
So would he be a bad daddy if he had 3 nannies so he could go to producers? Because what's her face would be a bad mom for having all those nannies.
He can bring the baby with. He can bring the baby with. His tutors that travel.
Jordan gonna be the godmama.
Who gonna be the godmama?
Jordan gonna be the godmama.
That's right. Jordan got her. Jordan gonna be the stepmama.
Godmama, exactly.
That's what she didn't want. Let's drill down. Shanae, come on. Good point, Shanae. Let's drill down. She didn't want Jordan nowhere near her baby. That's what it was. She wanted to hurt Harper and make sure Jordan didn't have shit to do with me.
Fucking good. Jordan been trying to fuck Harper for like 30 years at this point. Like,
I love that she was like, I'm not gonna be that person for you. I can't be your soft cushion. I love that.
Let's talk about that. Why can't she be a soft cushion?
Because she don't want to be used like that. She wants somebody who loves her for her, not loving her because he hurt because somebody else hurt him. No. No.
Like she said, if fate brings them back, then it brings them back. But just right away after all of that happens, she knows exactly what it is.
Exactly.
So no, why settle for that when you know what it is? Even though she did let him kiss her and she did invite him back to her house and she was.
And if that phone didn't ring, just like if that record hadn't scratched in the first one, it was always these, here we are, and bam, something else happened. So yeah.
Okay.
But even if you want it, you gotta stand firm on some, like, no.
I hear that.
You're not gonna land here. Yeah.
Listen, I hear all that. That's all adorable. I get it. I'm fine. That's cute. We gotta prove our love. Listen, hold on. These bugs are knocking on 50, if not 50. You ain't got time for all these crazy games. And you all have been at least enamored with each other. And you love each other as people, obviously. If not in love. I don't know if they're not in love, to be frank. But you have at least been enamored with each other for decades. This thing fell apart. You're not my rebound, per se. We didn't just meet. It's not like we've never acknowledged these feelings before, and now I'm coming to you like you always had a thing.
I get it.
Yeah. They already had a thing. They were just about to hit it. A couple of months ago. So I don't.
Yeah, but do you have to be in love to hit it? I feel like that was an itch that they both trying to scratch. That
could be a straight curiosity thing. Agreed.
And they knew what they shared was so much more than that. That I totally respected her decision on that.
I mean, I respect it, but so I guess then the question is, and we'll come to this in a little part. Like, do you think they ever explore this down the road, or do they kind of just leave it where it is and say, this is just never was supposed to be, and I love you too much as a friend, I don't want to risk it?
I think they should leave it where it is.
Shanae?
I don't know. They might be another Terrence and Quentin and Shelby.
Yeah.
Harper literally gets uncomfortable every time another man is around Jordan. He got uncomfortable in this series with old boy who I really didn't like.
Demetrius, yeah.
Yeah. I hated his 5 o'clock shadow or 7 o'clock shadow. But so he gets jealous, he gets uncomfortable every time he sees her with another man. So and clearly she still likes him, she kissed him, and she kissed him again, even after she told him we can't do this. But no, I think that maybe they might end up, exploring down the line. And it wouldn't be nothing wrong with that, especially if they're both single.
Yeah.
Finally.
Right.
Chantel, you think this is something they should explore down the road? Will explore?
Oh, what do I think? I don't think this is actually based on anything. Like I said, I think this is something they've just always wanted to try since they were 18 and just never got to fulfill. So I question all these feelings, quite honestly. They should probably just fucking get it over with so they can move on with their friendship, quite frankly. They can get that itch scratched. Because I don't think they really, I think they love each other as friends, but they just have this thing between them that they just need to do to get out the way. Then they can actually have a friendship from that point forward. That's
they're
what I
kind of the
personally think.
same. They think the same because I think he said, nobody gets me but you, or something like that. So I think that maybe they mirror each other.
Yeah.
Like Quentin and Shelby. They mirror each other.
Maybe.
I think at this point, I could see where earlier in their lives, when they were younger, how they were both so focused. And what did Merch say in the first movie? The two control freaks couldn't lose control enough to get freaky.
Yeah.
Right? They both are so focused on what they got going on and their careers and whatever. Which is why Robin was, in one sense, perfect for Harper, right? Because she wasn't as focused. She could, kind of subjugate her wants and needs
It's flexible for him. Yeah.
to support his stuff, right? And Robin, Robin ain't having it. Robin ain't got time for that. But now that she's kind of gotten to it, I mean, not Robin, Jordan. But now that Jordan's kind of gotten to a space where she realizes, I'm working myself to death, right? I've reached this pinnacle in this career, and was it worth it? And now she's kind of, I won't say downsizing, but downshifting into different areas where she can be more in, have more flexibility and be in more control, per se, of her own stuff. And now he's kind of reached this point. He's got his Pulitzer. He's kind of a little bit more settled and has this failed, relationship or whatever. I think they're in a different place where maybe they can appreciate each other more and be less focused on all this external stuff. And I mean, let's be frank, we got more summers behind us than ahead of us. You better snatch this potential love while it's in front of you.
Yeah.
Now, you might lose the best friend you've ever had. That is the gamble.
Mm-hmm.
That is the gamble, and that might be the one thing that would give, if it was me, give me pause. But I think they should go for it. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? All right, so let's shift a little bit. If you had to date one of these characters, date, marry, build a family with, a relationship with, whatever the case may be, who would it be and why? Sean's contemplating. I'm gonna give her a minute to think about it.
Had to think.
The eyes are going back and forth like windshield wipers. I can see her thinking. Kenny, I'll start with you.
Oh, right off the back, I'm going Lance.
Oh, the easy answer. Go ahead.
Going Lance. Lance got me with God, family, football. That's me.
That's you.
Like, favorite sport. I love a good football player. No secret there. No. And Lance is a great dude. He's a family guy. He loves his wife immensely. He was, wild in college, wild after her death, but in that marriage, he was amazing. And he was true to not really going with the trend of what his son was going through. He's like, oh, hell no, I'm selling all, I'm giving all these clothes away to a women's shelter. No. But then he's like, man, I'm really blocking a relationship here, and I don't want to sacrifice him. It scared the life out of him when he couldn't find his son. And then he kind of all right, I'm gonna let you be you and do you. And that's the love and support that you need. So with his wife, with his children, I love Lance. And he's fine. Okay.
Let's not leave that.
Let's not leave that out. We cannot overlook that.
And I want to circle back to the Lance and LJ thing. I want to touch on that. But Shanine, who you picking?
Quentin,
let's go.
This Quentin.
This version of Quentin. Right?
Yes, the mature Quentin, the Quentin who is in touch with his sensitive side. I really liked the scene when Shelby, was elevating. Or did she say elevating or evolving or whatever she was, when she was preparing for switching up for the talk show. And how supportive he was, of her and encouraging her, and, even when he was telling her, to stop fighting time and, just let me love you. And, like, man, like I'm like, yes, Quentin, I see you. He has evolved himself, and then he's just so funny and he's so authentic and so genuine. And he really is a good friend. He's not out there chasing tail anymore. So definitely Quentin, and he's just fun. He's super cool.
Okay. I like you.
Vote for Q. All right, Sean, you had a moment to think it over.
I mean, once you actually skipped over me, I had an answer. I definitely would have to go with Lance. I love an arrogant asshole. I do. There's nothing I can do with it. But he's an arrogant asshole with a heart of gold, right? He loves his family. He loves God. He has the capacity to evolve and change. And you can't not love that. Plus, I mean, he fucking looks good. Like, you get all that, and the motherfucker looks good.
and he's rich. And
he's rich, even though he wanted to play football, which I thought that was the stupidest shit on earth. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It's midlife crisis. What do you like? I've seen that with guys. Like, football is all I've done since Pee-wee, high school, college, professional. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired. Now what? My ex was like that. He's like, and I'm golfing and running the foundation every day, but I don't even know who I am without football. So I've seen that before.
Well, we're seeing that with Tom Brady. So I get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We see, but it would definitely be Lance, hands down.
Okay. So I wrestled with this one. This one was tough.
Your choices kind of blow, just FYI.
Hey, who you telling? Now, I think they're all solid in their own right. So let's go down the list. Let's start with Mia. Out. You fucked my boy. You're gone. My gut tells me who I would probably vibe with the most is Merchants with Candace.
I'm surprised.
Dick sucking stripper. You out. You're gone. Sorry. There's certain things I'm not moving past. Shelby, you dated my boy for 7 years. You out. That's a wrap.
So left with Robin?
Now I'm left with Robin and Jordan. The self-centered, self-driven, don't know how to love, career obsessed. Then you've got the wife, the mother, probably a more supportive backbone, but also flighty and can't stick to anything and ain't making no money.
Wait, before you make a choice, remember Jordan is holding the torch for Harper. So that's a point you also need to be carrying over there too.
True.
She may accidentally end up fucking him because she's been trying to for 30 years.
So, now once she gets some of this, baby. Now once she gets some of this. Facts. So if I gotta pick, and this is not just because Robin sucked in this series, but if I had to pick, I'm probably either going really young Jordan when I can convince her you can have that and this, and I got your back professionally, and you need to work late and travel. Boom, cool, all good with me. I got your back, and I can convince her that there can be love and this career chase, or this Jordan that now has kind of realized I need to back it up a little bit. I may have missed my window to have kids, to have a family, to have love. She has things in a better perspective. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate a woman that's after her dough and hustling and career driven and all that. That's sexy as hell to me. That flighty, that shit would drive me nuts. We wouldn't have made it 5 years. So if I had to pick, I would go Jordan. But it was, they all are flawed in their own ways and great in others. So I'll say that. Let me ask this. Let's talk about the LJ situation and how that portrayal and Lance's handling of it. What you guys think about that whole storyline? Now, I know and I'll preface this by saying, I know a lot of the fellas I've talked to have an issue with that on a few fronts. One, a lot of guys, just anything.
Look, the timing is perfect. Look at your screen.
Yeah, they
that on purpose.
On purpose. They can't really handle it, right? Anything that's gay, lesbian, transgender, throw their hands up. And then in another vein, it's like, why does everybody else had daughters? Lance has 2 sons. You barely see the youngest son to the end.
Yeah.
The only storyline involving a male son in this is this storyline. A lot of brothers take that, like, why we always got to be portrayed this way? Why the comedians always got to wear dresses before they blow up and everything else? But all that being said, what you all think about how this was portrayed on the show? Shanae, start with you.
Okay, this is touchy. You don't ever want to say the wrong thing.
Don't get us canceled now. Do not get us canceled.
I'm not. So this is happening to Black boys everywhere, So I guess with everything else that's on TV now, I guess they felt like it needed to be. I think that, hey, I didn't do the lipstick, the red lips, that was just too much. That's too much. I totally understand why Lance was upset about it. I do think that Lance went extremely overboard when they were going to his retirement party, and when LJ first came down the stairs and his shirt or whatever, like, there was nothing wrong with his shirt. He could have let him keep that shirt. He went extremely overboard. Like, if they were going to find a scene for him to blow up on, then it could have been, it didn't have to be that, because there was nothing wrong with that.
Looked like a shirt Prince would wear.
Yeah.
Looked like a shirt Prince would wear.
Very much.
It's a blouse, yeah.
I mean, it was fashionable, so okay, whatever. But and then they got money, so that's what they do. But yeah, he kind of went a little overboard with his anger on that. But I mean, I guess overall, I'm glad that he did come to terms with it, and he did, accept and acknowledge his son on that platform, like when he was addressing the media and everything. But I totally understand why Lance was upset. I imagine that is very challenging, especially for you to be the man's man. And, it's unfortunate that his son felt like he could not talk to him, because at the end of the day, it's like, you my son, I'm the superstar. I don't want to be out here seeing, or people seeing my boy on social media looking like a girl with a wig on, But that stuff is happening today. But the red lips, that was just a lot. It was a lot. And I don't know, kudos to Lance for handling it differently and just accepting his son, or they, or them, and the they, them, theirs, accepting that for that. See, I don't even get it right? Accepting them for who they are. It's very confusing. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, pronoun game is got to keep it tight.
Yeah.
Kenya, what you think?
A lot of what Shanine just stated. I know that Lance has always been like super alpha male, the man's man, and it had to be tough for LJ to even come out to him or want to, because no one wants to disappoint their parents. But ultimately, you have to be true to yourself and who you are and how you're feeling. So I was happy that he was able to come around. And I think Lance's reaction was very realistic. A lot of people are not ready for that. They're not prepared for that. They're not automatically accepting of it, especially as this dominant alpha Black man. So the fact that he was able to put the love that he had for his son in front of his own feelings about being, what is it, binary?
Non-binary.
Non-binary, yes. I say I'm not even as well versed on it either, but I've not had that, really. I've had a friend that had to go through that. And yeah, I was just glad that they had him come around to it and just love his son through whatever it was he was going through. It's so sometimes overly project, like, does it have to be a part of everything, every time, every show? But it is such a part of everyday life that it's almost like, why not? It's really happening. It's a real thing. And people view it exactly how Lance viewed it in the beginning. But then I just feel like you gotta love your people enough. You want everybody to be who they are. You want them to find and be true to themselves. You gotta overlook your personal feelings and let people live and be free to be who they are. So I did appreciate that aspect of it.
Sean?
Here's what I will say. Here's to add on to what Shanine and Kenya have shared so far. Do I think the storyline was needed? I do. I think as a community, as a people, we spend a lot of time not acknowledging our bigotry. So we're going to have to keep having these conversations until we start to move forward, because being non-binary, having to use they, them, their, having to call people who were born female, he, him, we're going to have to do this, right? And the only way you're going to force people to do it is to force people to do it. Force them to constantly see it, force them to have to change their language. This is just how America works. This is how people work. The one thing I will add that I appreciated about that storyline is that LJ was not, and I do not mean this to be disrespectful to the LGBTQ, he was not a flaming queen. He played football. He was excellent at football. He was an excellent student. He presented male until he didn't. So I think it's important that we see even different shades in trans, right? That you can be a stellar athlete, that you don't have to be ultra feminine, but still be dealing with your identity. I think that was a really good nuanced part that they put into that storyline. Outside of that, I thought I was surprised, I will say, that they actually added that in, and I thought Lance was the I mean, I guess Lance could be the only character, right? Because everybody else had girls. So it was they had no choice but to do it with Lance. But and I think Lance handled it like most hyper masculine men would have. I actually think he handled it a lot less violently than a lot of men would have had. I think, not saying that his reaction was the best, because it wasn't. I hated watching him do it. But I think out of what could have happened, that was probably the least reaction he could have had. And I didn't think he was going to come around, quite frankly. I did not think Lance was going to come around. So I also appreciated that Lance did come around in the end and just accepted who LJ was, and did the work to accept that, you know, whatever dreams he had for LJ, some of them, they just may not come to fruition, and just love his son for who he is. Whether he had to use Mia as the catalyst for that, or God, or whoever, it's just, it was a good storyline to see overall.
So I'll take this from a male angle. And males, that, as I've seen this dialogue happen on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, whatever, seem to be more up in arms about this. And what I'll always tell my brothers, and many of you won't agree with me on this, but what I'll always say is, this is reality, this is happening, and it's not being portrayed on TV to push an agenda on us that we are somehow changing our young men into anything other than what they truly are, their authentic selves. In the end, we're giving them a reflection of who they are, and I hope that seeing themselves represented in larger media makes more of them more comfortable to be true to who they are. It's not that they don't exist. It's not that they didn't exist before. They just didn't exist in plain sight because we didn't give them the opportunity to. So, you know, I had zero problems with the storyline. I don't think this is gonna make some completely heterosexual young male be like, oh, well, maybe now I want to do this, that, and the other. No. That's not how this works. Just like seeing homosexual activity did not change me, cis male, into wanting to be homosexual. That's not how that works. You are born how you were born, and you are who you are. And I want folks to be comfortable living their true, authentic selves, because as LJ said in this very series, that church, wherever he was, saved his life. He might have taken his own life because he could not live in a world where he wasn't accepted. And I don't want that for anybody. Now, that being said, if it was one of my three sons, it would be a problem. It would be problematic. It's not what I wish for them. And it's not that I think that they're going to hell, or they're bad people, or it's unnatural or whatever. I just know how tough the world is to be a black man, period. To add that extra layer on top worries me, concerns me. And to be completely frank, to be a heterosexual cis male, I kind of want my sons to be the same, right? I want to take them to the strip club with that. I'm kidding, but you know what I'm
No,
saying.
you're not.
No, nigga, you're not.
No, you're not.
So I get it. It's it's something that weighs on our heads. But at the end of the day, much as Lance came around, you got to accept your kids for who they are, because they might not be here, right? You don't want to be the reason or part of the catalyst for them to just maybe not even die, just be gone. And I have zero contact or connection with my child
Yeah.
because I don't completely agree with how they choose to love their life. If they had a drug problem, an alcohol problem, and I don't want to compare these to that. I'm just saying I'd love them through anything, including however they choose to live their lives, sexually, gender, whatever, right? So because at the end of the day, they're my kid and I love them and I want them to be happy. And my wants and desires at the end of the day be damned. I don't have to live their life. They do. So I hope that fellas can see that this isn't some agenda to demasculate all the black men or whatever. It's just a representation of real life and what's happening out there.
And women need to see that too, because as a mother of a son, like we would have to deal with that in our own way as well. So it's just, like you said, the representation just needs to be on major platforms so that they see themselves and feel themselves and know that I'm okay.
Yeah. And I know we hate when, a lot of us, I won't say all of us, hate when the LGBTQ struggle is compared to the African-American struggle or whatever. But the same things we're saying about them being represented on television and movies and whatnot, the same thing white people were saying about us in the 60s, in the 50s, right? Like, I was having this conversation the other day about some of my favorite films as a teenager were John Hughes films. Breakfast Club, 16 Candles.
16 Candles.
Yeah, all that stuff. Ferris Bueller, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're nowhere really to be found except in caricatures as you look back on it in those movies. Yeah. And our complaints are always, why are we always the drug dealer, the gangbanger, this, that, right? And it's great to see us now elevate out of that. Same thing. They want to be represented as well. And let's be frank, a lot of people in Hollywood, that have power, have I hate to even call them alternate lifestyles, but not quote unquote mainstream lifestyles. So of course they're gonna want to put themselves on screen. Why wouldn't we? When we run our movies, when we run in this, it's all us, right? It's barely a white character to be found in this. Mm-hmm. That's what you do when you want to be represented. So anyway, I'll end that there. Thank you for your honesty, Ryan. I know that can be kind of tough. I see the comments start drying up when we start talking about this. So let's start.
No, I saw a couple of comments about it.
Oh, shit. There was a couple, but when we talking about how trash Robin was, everybody had an opinion. Everybody kind of backed up off this one.
You mean when you were talking about how trash she was?
Yes, me. It was me. Anyway, let me see what else do we have in here. Actually we haven't touched on a lot, but I'm loving this conversation. So let's get back into some of our regular banter about what were some of your favorite just like individual scenes, and it's obviously 10 hours of content, so it's a little different from a movie. So if you had to drill down to a few favorite scenes, I know Shanine got notes, so I'm going straight to her. What you got, Shanine?
Well, obviously in the first episode when everybody meets Ziamara for the first time, and like Kenya mentioned earlier, when she was walking and they were like, she's gliding, and then when Harper said, oh, your reputation precedes you, and then she's like, my reputation, and then they're like, oh, and everybody's like, oh, sorry, and I didn't realize, and then she was like, I'm just fucking with you, Harper. I thought that was so hilarious. And then the sage and Candace choking off the sage, that was hilarious to me. So that was scene one. And then, gosh, there's so many. When Quentin's dad first enters, for the first time, he was hilarious, and just how he addressed like all the guys. Every scene with the unicorn and Shelby, every scene with them was really, really good. Shelby's lap dance, of course, was a scene for me. Quentin and Shelby at the airport. There's so many. Oh, it's just so many. Jordan meditating for the first time when she's meditating and then her phone rings. I thought that was pretty funny too. So I have so many. I'll stop there.
All right, cool. Sean, you got any things that sticks out in your head?
Definitely the Shelby unicorn interactions, especially that last one by the pool. She read the fuck out of Shelby. That shit was amazing. The absolute fuck out of her. Most of the other ones I can think of are really emotional, like when Harper was sitting in the park with Mia and she gave her sandwich to the homeless man. Like I literally my tears welled up a little bit. Just like, I'm trying to think because I didn't rewatch it unlike other people, so I'm a little ill prepared to answer this question. But just more of the emotional scenes, like when they went to see Harper's dad, who was living in a house that looks like somebody with dementia, and how Quentin was responding. That one really stuck with me too. So if you name an emotional scene, like even some of the fights, like when Robin and Harper were that last fight that they had in front of everybody, that was hard to watch. Oh my God. I was like clutching the pillow, like, oh,
that was
good. Oh my
God.
It wasn't just them, like everybody stepped in. Shelby had something to say and she got hit. Jordan had something to say, she got hit. Like that was probably out of all the scenes, that one was the hardest to watch out of the entire series. So
what do you call her? He said you fake what do you call her? You fake damn.
Kente Claw, something.
Yes, you fake Kente Claw.
Yeah.
She said, yo, Uncle Tom, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I don't know if you've ever been in a scenario like that where two people that were together are not together and it comes to a head in front of you. I have.
Super uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is uncomfortable, particularly when you care about both people, right? Like I've been in another scenario. We were like, that bitch crazy. Let's drag her ass out. Get her the fuck out. But when it was two people that you genuinely care about, it's tough. It's tough.
There's one scene I want to make sure we mention because I don't know if everybody caught it. The scene with Quentin and Murch, where Murch told Quentin how he felt about the movie. I thought that was an incredibly powerful scene because I don't think Black men do that much so with each other as well as anybody else. Admit that something really hurt them and acknowledge that they friends ain't been shit about it. Like granted, they didn't know that he was hurt by it. So what they were saying was making it worse without knowing it. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was such a great scene.
It was. And Q was like, that's just Heart being Heart. Be like, no, it's all of y'all. Like, let's be clear. It's not just one person. Everybody does it to me. So yeah, that was a good scene.
That was, so yeah, that's it.
I got a guy that I was like, I think we do this to this man. Well, I'm gonna have to do better about that.
We should have a conversation.
Well, yeah, because everybody.
You saw yourself?
I saw myself in that moment. Everybody, which is why I kind of love these movies, right? Like I can relate to different characters at different times or whatever the case may be. And I can see my friends in some of the characters as well. And one of my guys is consistently the butt of our jokes. We always talking shit about him. We got his back. We'll ride for him. I'll shoot him up in the face. But I always got jokes for him. And I'm like, man, I wonder if my guy feels this way. So it was eye-opening for me. But anyway, Kenny, what you got?
One of my favorites was Harper rolling down the window at the airport when he saw Lance's interaction with the limo driver. He was like, rolled the window down and looked like, really? I see you, Lance. I know what you own. That got me. I love Regina's Hall comedic timing. So she had so many, Candace had so many little things. Like when Zia Moore was talking about, and my Emmys and she's like, no, she knows she lying. She ain't want all that. She lying. Regina's got great comedic timing. And like Shanine kind of touched on Q's dad when he came in and he's like, how's that baby? He's like, growing every day, getting bigger, but don't let her get fat because fat girls don't have a chance in hell. He just went around the room like just the old school player. So I love that. Let's see what else that I have. Some of you all touched on them. Look, I got my notes. I'm like going through.
Go ahead, Professor.
At the end, the guys, like without a word being said, just showed they were there for Harper. They came in, what's up, mixing drinks, getting the card game ready. Loved that scene so much. The ayahuasca ceremony, they didn't know what they were doing. They just drinking and stuff. And Jordan was like, Bubble! She was gone.
I gave Shelby the runs. That was I fell out. Shelby running off because she had the runs.
Yes,
Amazing.
she like literally holding her butt. And then she said, oh, this bitch just gonna try to poison me. Okay. Like she didn't know what was going on. Candace and Merch, like, are they just gonna have sex in front of us? What's happening? So everyone was just kind of floating on this high. But Shelby running off and holding her butt was hilarious. And then the last one I'll say, so you can have some BFOS. Shelby's dance at the bachelor party. That was like, okay, wow. They was like, damn, Shelby.
Wow.
Lance and Harper were like, damn, Shelby. So yeah, she was like, I gotta pull out all stops. Let me make amends with this, as Brian calls her, former dick sucking stripper, so she can teach me the moves and I can try to get my man. So those are some that definitely stuck out for me.
And this is what I'm saying. This is why, circling back to the conversation we had earlier, the fact that Candace and Shelby coordinated, even like came together for that,
Yeah.
just the growth of the characters, in particular Shelby though, is like in Bestman Holiday, they was at each other's throats.
Yeah, literally fighting, tearing each other up. Yeah,
literally. And now they've gotten here. That's crazy.
Oh wait, one more. I'm sorry. Them going to the dad's house. That was a great bonding moment for their daughter with the granddad, and also for Shelby and Q, because our parents are getting older. Yeah. And we're at that point where we gotta like start taking care of them, when you start seeing things like, Mike, you just said that, or like, Dad, what are you talking about? So parents are getting older. That's something that a lot of us that are at this 50 mark, or like soon to be 50, are kind of seeing and experiencing. So that was a good scene too.
Absolutely. And him being able to recall things that happened like 40, 30, like, and to pass that, and to pass that history on is amazing. Yeah. You all have touched on a lot of the scenes. I got to circle one. Did it just happen? No. The Robin Harper fight in the house, where he was like, well, we moved. You said it was good. I didn't want to fucking move, right? Like he was like, wait, how do we get here? But just even like, she was like, you don't support me, da da da. He was like, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And like just that the tenseness of that whole interaction spoke to me. I'll say that. Then
you saw yourself in that scene too.
Now we've already talked about this, but I want to dive into it a little bit. So that scene where it all comes to a head and they blowing up at each other, and then all the women except for Jordan, start going at Harper, and then Harper is like, "Oh, wait a minute, Shelby, hold on." Nobody's ever. I'm sure we haven't had this conversation, but you kept when you kept your child from Quentin for 10 years. That kind of responsibility. That's what we're talking about right here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm confused now. And Quentin's like, I mean, yeah, that's real talk.
What'd you say?
Keep my wife's name out your.
Hilarious. Yes.
But so I get Candace, right? Her and Robin have clearly built this relationship, which makes sense because they're the outsiders of the crew.
Yes.
They're the two that came in later. They weren't the college friends or whatever. So I can see how they kind of bonded. It was for Shelby to jump into it was just for Merch to be like, I told you, this is not the I told you moment. This is not the moment to be like, I told you so. We need to check that. I get Candace's piece. For Shelby to jump in it is crazy. But let's say, did you all feel what Candace and Shelby and all them were saying to Harp? Did you think it was appropriate? And I'm not saying even in a moment, just appropriate, need to be said.
I think it needed to be said. I think everything they said was true. Maybe just not in that moment. But everything they said, I felt like, well, yeah. But like he had comebacks for all of them. So
because they're all flawed. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No glass houses where everybody's in a glass house in this joint.
I mean, what would have been a better time to say something like that? Like, you can't. I feel like that would have been the time when things come to a head to say it. Now, he wasn't receptive to any of what anybody was saying.
He was ready for all of it. You want
He's
this
ready for
smoke?
war.
Come on. Yeah.
He's ready for war. But
Yeah.
it wasn't the best time, I don't think, Chantel, because
Oh.
what they're really arguing about, what the argument stemmed from, was her talking about him fighting for custody so Mia can't go to Africa. I can't see why everybody in that room could not understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
for
would
them to
not.
jump on now, then they're obviously a spiral. But that was the crux of the argument. I can't see how anybody in that room is like, see, this is just you being selfish again, Harper. I'm being selfish and wanting to see my kid every day. I'm excuse the fuck out of me.
Well, I mean, he also had a reputation for running over Robin. Let's just call a spade a spade. Yes, he did a lot for her. I'm not going to negate that, but he ran over Robin. And I think people saw that. And I think they were coming to her defense because they had seen him over the years constantly get his way with her constantly. Yeah. I'm not going to say bully because I'm not going to do that. I don't think he bullied her, but I definitely think he pressured her a lot of times to get his way. And I think
his word trumped everything.
Right. So I think what we saw was people come in. He who makes the goal makes the rules. I believe in that. He who makes the goal makes the rules. But I think that's what they were responding to is, once again, him trying to push her into doing what he wanted. And I think people were just like, I think everybody was like, this is the moment you need to kind of back off of her and kind of just let her do this. I think everybody saw why she was doing what she wanted to do. And he just wasn't ready to hear that. That's what I think was actually happening.
Up for herself. Yeah.
Because
I just thought they should have piled on top of that. Like, and that's why
I agree.
That's where it got me like, because like Brian said, I've been in those situations where two people you love are just going their separate ways. And you like, I just want it to end. I don't want to compile on top of it. It's uncomfortable. And I just, I wouldn't take it the time to be like, yeah, and be false. Also, another thing, nigga, it's like, no, we're not doing that. Don't pile on it. Just try to diffuse it so that we can.
And they did try to diffuse it. Harper was just on too much of a roll and started digging into people. So they were trying to diffuse it a bit.
No, Chantel. You hate Harper.
I do not hate Harper. No, but that's real life.
Because he specifically said, do we want to do this here? Let's not do this here. And she kept it moving.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
All I'm saying is they jumped in to try to diffuse it. He was just too much on the roll. And this is human beings, right? If you like hype, if you in a mode.
It wasn't just him. It was her too.
But we talking about Harper. I ain't talking about
no, we were talking about the
shit. All I'm saying is that he was on the roll and they were trying to diffuse it and it went awry.
If you want to go, then let's go. I'm specifically saying let's not do this right here. So if you want to go, then we gonna go. And as friends, either you gonna really try to stop it and be like, y'all, no, not now, not here, or don't say nothing. I am definitely not gonna add my 2 cents, even if it is my girl, whatever. I'm not gonna add my 2 cents into this married couple's business. Now, later on, if we doing a recap with me and Harp or me and Robin or whatever, then I will be like, well, no, you was bogus for that, or you could have did that. But in that moment, no, I'm not gonna piggyback and jump on it because it's ugly. I would have been the friend that would be crying because they're arguing.
Yo, stop it.
Hey.
I think if Lance had been there, it wouldn't have went down.
Oh yeah, Lance.
It would have started, but Lance would have dragged Harp out. He would have done something to get in the middle of that. Everybody, Quentin was enjoying it, so he definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, merch is merch, so he ain't jumping.
He ain't doing nothing, right?
And
damn.
And the ladies are kind of like, I don't know, until it was time. That was a crazy scene. But I'm glad you touched on this scene also, Kenny, because it was funny as it was happening. So Harp gives up, right? Harp is like, take her. I don't even want to do the fight. Just do your thing. And they leave. Robin, evil ass, makes the girl stop saying bye to him. He in the house crushed. And Lance walks in, not a word said or whatever. And I'm like, because in my head, I'm like, where's boys? I know they fighting. I know they got beef right now, particularly him and Merch, but where's boys? And Lance walks in and da-da-da. And I hadn't noticed that he had left the door open until after it. Everybody walked in. But then it was just Lance for a little while. And I was like, these other two motherfuckers ain't shit. If they not here for their boy right now, right now. And then they come out, oh, here we go. That's
Yeah.
friendship. That's what we do. And then how did they first word said? Is a joke. Break the ice. Get everybody. We talked about this in the other movie. Get the ice broken. That's how we roll. And then anything that happens after that. But to show that true moment of no matter what, friendship. I got you back. You my boy. I love you. Right? You're not always right. We're not always right. I might not always think what you're doing is right, but I love you and I got your back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for a couple of minutes there, I was like, oh, these
raggedy niggas.
These raggedy.
Raggedy. Trash.
Trash. They trash. I'm done with you, Merch. I'm done with you, Q. Then they came. I was like, all right, these my boys. Q comes in with drinks. I'm like, all right, here we go. These my boys. I hope I was at the place of cars.
That Sage scene I was hollering with that Sage. She was like, he said, oh, don't be silly. No one's allergic to Sage. I'm choking. She put her hands up. No, I'm choking. And then even later, Harper was still going with it. He was like, that Sage, that shit is still in my nose. Like, he wasn't feeling her at all.
Oh, I also like the part at the New Year's Eve party where Candace and Merch are high and they kind of like dancing. And
she was like, I want to feel that. I want to feel that.
And when they got home and saw the little girl on TikTok and Instagram, and they were just like, I'm too high for this shit, and just went to bed.
He was still like, fuck them kids.
Them kids, one of my favorite parts.
Yes. Another good one was Lance and Jordan, when he was like, you are not their mother. In that was like the after party, I think. Mm-hmm. And he just had like, stay out of my family's business. You're all in it. And I think he was also resentful because he said, so all y'all knew about this?
Right.
Yeah. When he saw it on the screen.
Yeah.
Another thing that everybody knew, and Lance was the last to know. Stop doing my boy like that. Don't do, like,
don't be doing my boo. Don't be doing my boo like that.
But how you tell him his kid is non-binary? I wouldn't even know how to begin that conversation.
Yeah.
Is that even your place?
No. No.
As Jordan said, I'm not having that conversation.
He was like, I think you need to have a conversation with him.
If it's my boy though, I am gonna say, hey man, you need to holler at LJ. If I know. He's gonna be like, about what? I'm like, I don't want to be in it. You my boy.
As opposed to him seeing him full wig, red lips, go get down the wall, across the room. That was a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And I guess that's me getting in it, but yeah, the way I don't want him to find out like that.
Like that, yeah.
But would Lance have even really received that? Because when another time when they were all sitting at the poker table and I can't remember which one asked how's LJ, and then he was like, oh, he's cool, he hasn't returned back to football or whatever, but he might come around. And then Q was like, I don't think he was talking about football, and he was like, well, what the fuck was he talking about? He wasn't even ready. He still wasn't ready to have that conversation. So would he have really received it if any one of them had come to him?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. But this goes to a conversation. I don't know if all of us have had it, but I know I've had at least with Chantel individually on some. If I see what's a friend's? It doesn't even have a scenario. What as a friend is my role in telling you some uncomfortable shit, right? And some stuff I just shouldn't probably, as a friend. Like my boy, I don't know if there's anything I shouldn't be able to come and tell you. And I feel it's almost my responsibility to do so. Now, in this case, this information doesn't just involve you, right? So let's say, for example, I'm out and about, I'm at a restaurant, I see my boy's wife cuddled up with some other dude. I'm going to make my presence felt. I'm going to say hi. I'm not going to bust out like it's not what I'm going to do. But I'm going to make it known. If you don't tell him, I'm going to tell him.
I will.
Yeah.
And give her the opportunity to do what she needs to do. And if she doesn't, then I got to do what I got to do. In this case, I don't think it's my responsibility, my role, my position, to out quote unquote LJ, right? To put his LJ needs to have that conversation with his father. But once it's kind of now start making the rounds, and I know Merch know.
Merch was like,
he can't hold water.
He was like, see, I can keep a secret. I didn't do it. I didn't say nothing.
I'm probably trying to push that combo without saying what the combo is about and giving him that opportunity. And to be frank, kind of almost selfishly too. Like, hey, I tried to broker this conversation. So you mad at everybody? Don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
I did my piece, but it's not. I don't think it's my role to be like, hey man, LJ such.
No, I don't think so either. I think I would probably try to get a safe space or encourage that conversation between the two of them, or just something, but not. I don't know if I could have held that from him because you just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have just encouraged him, like, I'll support you. I'll be there if you need me to. Then once he said it, kind of excuse myself so they can have their thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think I would have tried to broker the conversation. Like I would have told LJ, like, look, you need to talk to him. I'll be there with you when you tell him to support him. You can do it at my house, so it's someplace quiet.
Neutral,
and then just try to help navigate that conversation, because it probably still wouldn't have went well, but at least it would have been less embarrassing for Lance as opposed to sitting there with all your best friends and your kid come in a wig and red lipstick on the screen.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, wait a minute. There was another one, and then we should push on. Oh, so when Jordan and Lance went in the car, they were searching for LJ, and Jordan finds out she's not pregnant. She kind of has that vulnerable moment with Lance where, she's like, I was scared, but I was ready to take this journey. For the first time in my life, I wasn't in control of something. This might have been my last opportunity to be a mother, blah, 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 blah. Because it's every other scene we've had with Lance and Jordan, even in the movies, it's been contentious. There's always been kind of this, seems like friction between them. You've never seen them as individuals really share a moment.
Have a moment, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And to have them finally have that moment where he's like, you've been great. You've been what I could not be for my kids. You've been there. I love you for it. I love, just to actually have that moment where they had that those walls down, or this intimate moment it was a nice scene to see.
That was great. Yeah, I agree.
Any particular quotes? But they said so much funny stuff, and I know we mentioned it, but anything in particular on the quote side you want to throw out there? I'm going to Shanine first again because I know she got notes.
Don't come to me, I don't remember. Not gonna lie.
Well, I liked when Shelby said, fuck, when they were at the book club. When they were at the book club, nobody would listen to Robin talk about the book. And when Shelby started talking about her Twitter, and she was like, fuck a book club. Join my Twitter club. Boop. I like when she said that. I liked when Jordan was like, you lied to me, Willie Bobo. Get that. And then when Robin was like, when they were talking about moving, and then when she was talking about moving from Harlem and the kitchen and all that stuff, and then she was like, I don't want to abandon all that to play George and Wheezy somewhere. I liked when in the first episode when they got married, and Harper was like, he said to Quentin, and he was just like, she's magical. And he was talking about Shelby, and Shelby was dancing with the dad. When Harper and Robin were when Robin accidentally stumbled across Harper's notebook, and she was reading, and then when she was telling him like, oh, you need to finish this or whatever, and then she was like, when you show your heart like that, all I want to do is live wherever that energy is. I like that.
That was very sweet.
All this energy shit.
There's so many more.
Brian is not rolling with that.
I know I'm fine with it, but 10 years ago, had I been talking about my energy, I would have been a hippie weirdo. Now everybody hates energy.
It's the evolved us, as Q said. It's me. It's still me. It's just the evolved me.
What you got, Kenya?
I have when the guys went to the house and Lance had the girls, and he's like, Harper was like, I would hug you, but not with that on the loose. His robe was open. He was like, oh, my bad, and closed the robe. So that was kind of cool. When Lance said, I strap up most of the time. Well, 80% of the time. About 70%. Like it just kept like, no. Let's see. Oh, a lot of the exchanges between Ziamora and Shelby. She said, you had a ball. Shelby said, I had a ball. She said, you had a ball. Don't you mean 2 balls? And she said, I'm not gonna go into the P word part, but that was like, tell me how my P tastes, whatever P word tastes in that same exchange.
That's where we draw the line on It Is On podcast. That's
I'm saving that for you, Brian. I don't want to touch that one. And then when Shelby tells Ziamora, keep my daughter's name out of your mouth, and she's like, keep my husband out of yours. Like, ooh, like they just kept going, and they were good with that. Let's see, what else do I have? I just said, Q, this is me, it's just an evolved me. And then every time she called her Shelly instead of Shelby on purpose.
On purpose.
And then I had Harper with all that sage, that shit's still in my nostril. He was just trying to get it out. So those are some that I had, like good quotes.
I have two more.
Go ahead, do it.
Yeah. When Jordan wanted the fish and they didn't have any more, she said, you need to go to the back, talk to a manager, find a piece of fish, or go fishing. And then when Terrence said, I done been with some badass bitches, but the unicorn, nigga.
The unicorn. Yeah. I really only had, there was a lot of funny stuff said. My phone died on me. I had one, Lance said something. He was talking to, I can't remember, it was one of the young lads, but maybe it was Robin. I can't remember who it was. He said something so profound. I was like, oh snap, that's deep. And I can't remember that. But anyway, I'll come back. I'll put that in the chat later when I find it.
When Q said, get your ass back here. I'm not gonna beg you. Okay, I'm on one knee. Okay, I'm on both knees. Like, I'm definitely begging you, please. Like I was
just thinking nobody brought that scene up from the airport when Q and Shelly, I was about to call him finally got together. That was actually, as much as I'm kind of mad about them, that was actually super cute.
That was a good scene. She was like, get up. Yeah, that was cute. It was almost our modern day Dwayne and Whitley. Like it kind of,
yes.
That's always like gonna be classic, but it was kind of like right here, with that scene.
It was too light skinned for me. It was too light skinned for me. I can't.
Light skinned person. It was too light skinned for you.
It was even too light skinned for me. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's kind of the point here. All right. We about to knock on the 2-hour mark, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. What part, scene, behavior, whatever? Black folks don't do that. What do they do? Like, Black folks don't really do that.
Well, setting a villa on fire on a 5-star diamond rated island, I would probably be.
Well, I don't know. That and wait to excel. I'm starting to think maybe y'all do that.
You know what? He gonna say, y'all, really?
No.
Y'all ever seen a man burn something down that wasn't drug related? I don't.
I was kind of stuck on that one. I didn't think there was too much that I didn't like relate to, have seen before, heard before, saw people do and been like, you did what? So I don't really have one for that, surprisingly.
Well, I had to when Lance and when Lance and Harper came back from, I guess, the gym or whatever, and they put their gym bags on the damn dinner table, like, absolutely not. Dirty gym bags on top of the table where people eat their food. Not happening.
Okay.
And when Shelby, after she found when she was on Andy and they were running the clip back to when she found out that Quentin got engaged, and when she got out her doggone Porsche and left the door open and got in a taxi.
Oh yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, she was trying to get away from the camera. She had cameras following her everywhere, and she was trying to get away from the camera.
Nobody, if anything, you're gonna tear that camera down off your mirror. You are not gonna.
True. And those are good.
Not today. Not today, Andy.
And her going up, she had cameras following her into his office and she started jumping on him. I'm like, ain't no black woman gonna do that on camera. Now they may do it in real life where nobody can see them, but they ain't doing that on camera.
That Real Housewife stuff. They
Say, I don't know.
You have never seen a housewife go into her husband's office acting a fool. Now you see them go to each other's house acting a fool, but you can't think of one housewife who showed up at her husband's job acting a motherfucking fool. None of them.
Apollo pull it on Phaedra. She was like, "Don't hit me."
Exactly. Apollo came to her house acting a fool.
Yeah.
None of them show up to their man's nothing acting a motherfucking fool.
One of them did show up to her man's restaurant acted kind of crazy. I think it was ooh, I'm about to tell on myself.
Come on, B.
It wasn't Atlanta. It was the
Potomac.
Potomac. It was Potomac. He was a cook, and she came a chef. And she came
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, and she lit into his ass about something. Now she wasn't hitting him and stuff, but
right.
It was a bit of a scene. I'll say that.
Let's see. From the audience, Crystal Joy says Harper didn't jump in the water after Robin. Is that something?
Maybe he doesn't know how to swim. I wouldn't. He was like Robin when she jumped off the yacht into the water.
Yeah.
Black people don't get in the water. I wouldn't jump my ass in there neither.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me. But she was liberated. She just floated.
Yeah, if she hadn't come up after like 10 minutes, maybe I'd have been in that joint. But I'm gonna give a few seconds to see what happens. Shit, he might have been like, drown, bitch, drown.
Terrible.
Your life insurance worth more than you are. I'm sorry.
What?
Sorry. All right, hold on. All right, so would this movie or show rather have been better if Denzel or Angela had been in it in some way, shape, or form?
You actually using this question?
I always use this
every show.
I always use this question.
He uses it.
No, y'all saying no?
No, absolutely not.
Is Denzel not old enough to be Terrence Howard's father? No, not old enough.
I love the dad. I love that dad for Terrence Howard.
We already talked about that, Brian.
I know. I'm trying to.
So I will give you this, only because I'm reaching and because I know you how bad you want them.
Don't reach with him, Shanine. Leave him out there by himself.
She doesn't have a real role, but I guess maybe Angela could have played. Was it the lady's name Angela? What's her name? Angela, who she was bringing over to the show to NBC. They didn't even create a line around it, but it was mentioned that she encouraged some other lady to come from one platform over to.
Oh yeah.
MSNBC.
Yeah.
Maybe Angela.
Black Twitter was eating Jordan up. Yeah.
Boom.
That's a
carve out a role for Angela to have some speaking in there. What's wrong with that?
You want Angela to play Shelby?
Sure.
No.
I'm sure Angela Bassett's already gone through menopause. I don't think we can even have that story.
Those scenes were good too. She's like, why is it so hot in here? Turn that out. Yeah. Definitely been there.
Let's see. Latrice Williams says Angela could have been Jordan's mentor. Denzel could have been Lance's daddy. And then Crystal Joy said if Angela was on an island with Harper's called getting her groove back.
Ah, yes.
Wait, yes. What'd you say?
They were the main two characters on Stella getting her groove back.
Oh, see?
So what you think about that then, Brian? Angela being
Hey, Crystal.
And Denzel being Lance's daddy?
I love it. Remember last show I said that Denzel could at least be Lance's big brother.
Or you gonna shoehorn them in any way possible? Could have been.
Don't be doing me like that, kid. And Angela could have been.
You gonna shoehorn them in any way
Jordan's
possible?
mentor. That's awesome.
Oh, I just thought of something else that Black people wouldn't do. I just popped in something Shanine said when Shelby was trying to like retain her youth and she was eating like all them yams and garlic and he came in her face and was like, ooh, your breath is on. Ain't no Black person gonna be walking around with stank breath to look useful. That's just not gonna happen.
But what about those people that take the garlic pills and you're like, that garlic is pungent. Sorry.
They are few and far between. Most of us are far too vain to be walking around with stanky ass breath.
Right. True.
To look young.
Well, in fairness, last night, the wife ordered me some cheesy bread, and she was like, "It come with the garlic sauce or the marinara." I was like, well, you should probably get the marinara. She's like, "No, you want the garlic sauce?" I was like, "That's love. You gonna deal with my garlicky ass breath all night?"
Thank breath. All right, let me give Angela Bassett a role in this.
Lord have mercy. Y'all gonna make fetch happen.
I just thought about this. Remember the lady that Candace hated, the old advisor? If they had put her on the screen, she could have been the advisor that was like, your paper's not good enough. No, 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 no. But that's kind of too small a role for Angela.
Then y'all gonna make Denzel the dude that she ended up
that would have been
assaulting Candace.
The professor.
Now that might have been dope.
Lord,
because could she really resist Denzel?
Now y'all shit coming out. See, this is why I asked this question. See,
that is funny.
Like, for the series only, not for the movie, Brian, but for the series. Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
I'll take
y'all
it.
are trying to make fetch happen. Okay.
I'll take it. Fetch will happen. I'll take it wherever I get it.
Usually I'd be like,
gonna make Denzel the rapey professor, and Angela's gonna be who?
We're gonna reduce Denzel to the rapey professor.
I had such high hopes.
I bet her reaction would have been totally different.
Right, you'd have been like, "Girl."
Can we talk about that for 30 seconds? When he first came on the screen, I was like, I really hope he don't be like the sexual assaulty. I said, God damn it.
Yeah, as soon as it happened, I was like, I was rooting for your black man.
Yeah. Merch should have drop kicked his ass.
Well, he would have.
He wanted to. She was like, no.
He was like, no, yeah.
He handled this the right way. Kudos to her.
Yes.
Yeah.
She didn't know he could fight then. That was before she knew he could fight. She might have let him.
No, this is after. This is after.
Yeah.
Oh, he found out. I mean, he found out afterward. Okay.
She might have let him go if she didn't know he could fight, because he's like, he ain't gonna do nothing.
Right, he ain't gonna do nothing.
Merch found some new animal.
Yes,
that's right. I appreciate you all finding roles for my people. Thank you very much.
As much as I didn't want to, I'm like,
exactly. But that was pretty good, though. I can see that.
So let's end on this. We've taken a ride with these people for knocking on 30 years. Do we need more of these? Would you? Of course, we'd all watch them. Let's not even ask that question. If it came on, we'd watch it. Is this and I'm not saying in another 10 years, or I need to see them figuring out retirement. No, maybe not. Maybe once I am, maybe I do want to see it. But I'm saying, like, is this something that Peacock should it be a series? Should it be a running? Because there's a lot of questions still out there.
I think they should consider it. I would watch.
I would watch it.
I think if they're going to do it now, then yes. But if they're going to do it in another 15 years, don't. Just let it die.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I would love I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I would love to see Shelby and Q, kind of getting a little older together. I would love to see if Robin actually comes back. And when she comes back, are Jordan and Harper together? I would like to see a little bit more about Lance and Jasmine, because I did like their interaction and how he finally found love again. So I would like to see a little more. Mm-hmm.
Kids were very open to a new relationship for Lance and somebody else. I don't know if that's accurate. That was my I don't know if black people do that, but I never even touched on that. Like, she's pretty, boo. My mama just died, and you went out here trying to replace her.
They were so little when she died. Though.
They were.
Because remember, even LJ even had to say that's mom, like in the scene. So when they were at the movie, so I don't even think she may have been the youngest of the four kids and didn't really remember her mom. So they want to see their dad happy. Latrice Williams said, "Best Man, the golden years." If they touch that.
The golden years, damn, they like 52.
Jamaica said
in 10 years.
Jamaica said empty nest years. So
And Robin wouldn't be in play because she never had a nest.
You mean Jordan?
Whatever.
Ooh.
Whichever one. Nia Long character.
Mhm.
You shoot. You've been secretly shooting at Jordan this whole show.
I realized after a while I didn't like her very much. So
I
either.
see you. I see what you're doing.
It's like Shelby and Jordan. They like right here for the dislike.
Shout out to Jordan's eyebrows. They were much thicker than the.
Oh, the original. She had the thinned out 90s brow.
Yes.
Sure
She
did.
looks so pretty though. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Looking good. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. All right, y'all. This was fun. We are over the 2-hour mark. I knew we'd probably go a little over on this one, and that's perfectly fine. I hope everybody that watched enjoyed. After this conversation, I might have to look at these 2 hours. I might have to get us a rewatch. I actually hope they make this a continuing series. I love these characters.
That would be
I
dope.
enjoy these people. There's still so much more they could do with them and where they could go. I don't want to wait another 13 years. I'd love for this to be and it could be short, 6 episodes every season, every other year. They could do it like Game of Thrones. That shit came on every 2 years.
They're Insecure, something like that.
Yeah. Why not?
Right, before we go, can we quickly touch on the character we connected to the most?
Did I not do that?
We didn't do that.
No.
Oh, we did the least, but we didn't do the most.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Can you kick us off? I'm sorry. I thought I hit.
For me, it was Jordan. I've been so, especially when I was in radio, and Shanine and I were both at Fox News, just career, get it going, get it off the ground. Radio, TV, and so I always put love on the back burner, kind of like Jordan does. And now it's like, damn, I'll be 50 like this year. So I don't want like Kenya's special friend, like in my obituary when I die. I want like something more than that. So
not the special friend.
Like, okay.
Oh, you know it's not that special friend.
What?
No, the kid, Sean was like, not the special friend. We know.
I hate that in obituaries, but it's just like, you want your person. I want my person. And now that I did the same as Jordan, I left the media stuff alone and I just focused on being an educator. So now I'm just like, all right, I can let love in. And I'm open to it and I'm doing it. So like, yeah.
Yay, that's dope.
Forget you, Brian.
No, it is. That was sincere.
It was. So I'm always connected with Jordan, just that driven go-getter and putting that love on the back burner. And then you realize like, dang, I'm thankful to God for my son, because if I wouldn't have taken a moment to do that 27 years ago, who knows if I would have just, been without him. So I'm so thankful for that. But Jordan was mine.
Damn, grown ass man.
Grown as ever, right?
Lord. Sean, who did you connect with?
I think I'm going to have to say merch the most. I think just from, I thought you would think so.
I thought you were going to say Shelby. No, I'm just kidding. I hate Shelby.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm too sure.
Like, that's why I hate it, because I see so much of me in her.
Her and Jordan. No, I think I've always struggled about when to be the nice guy and when not. So I appreciated seeing that aspect of him, of that character arc of being able to find a way to be more assertive, whether it wasn't in his real life. He did it in a healthy way in MMA, and just seeing how he dealt with his family and the struggles he had with communicating to his friends that what they were saying was hurting him and the portrayal of him was hurtful. I think I saw a lot of myself in merch, so I definitely connected the most with him. I got surprised.
I like this non-binary way we're thinking. I like it. Shanine?
Okay, so at the beginning, remember a couple weeks ago when we were doing Bestman Holiday, and I was like, oh, I already know who my character is. It was Nia at first, because again, Nia was just really like the ultimate homegirl. Like, I just really want to hang out with her. She was just so just cool and just black girl magic. But
you said Nia or Nia?
I'm sorry, I'm talking Nia Long, Jordan.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Nia. Okay, Jordan. Okay.
Yeah, my bad. But I connected with Harper, especially now in my career, and since I just finished the book, ready to publish. So, just everything from listening to them saying, oh, when he's writing, then he disappears for a little, this time period and everything. Like, I can really, really relate to that and really connect to him. And then just, wanting to evolve and, kind of do something different with his writing. So Harper would be the character that I'm most connected with.
See, I'm not the only one.
Love it. I love it how we're thinking outside the box here.
Now you gotta be Candace, and there you go.
I gotta be Candace.
No, Brian and Shelby.
I can see that. I struggled with this one because I don't think there's one character I completely connect with, male or female, or non-binary. There's a little bit of me in each of them, right? So my original thought was, okay, so when the Best Man came out, it was cute all day. I was like, that's my dog, that's me, that's how I roll, whatever. And in a way, it still is, and not because of the wild, he says whatever he thinks, blah blah. But even the health shit hit me because he lives a certain way. He likes his meat, he likes his smoke, he likes his drink. And you get older, and you got to start curtailing that stuff. And I'm struggling with that. And I haven't had a heart attack, obviously, knock on wood. But I'm struggling with that myself in that piece. And I'm 50 now, and I eat like crap, and I drink sugary drinks, and I like my drink, I like my alcohol, whatever. And I'm trying to figure out how to scale that back. Except I don't know how I'm gonna survive because I don't eat nothing but bad shit. So I'm trying to figure out how to start liking fruits and vegetables. It's a tough piece. I've never liked them, but so even in that regard, just considering your health and wanting to be here for your family for the long haul, that piece. Merch in that, the sacrifice you're willing to make, right, every day, in this co-parenting thing for your family, being, that last second pickup, being the one that does this or carries the weight when your other half can't, even if it's for an extended period of time. That's just what you signed on for, and to do that and have so much pride and joy in it, the way he does, I connect with that. Lance, just kind of being a man, it's hard. It's a heavy burden, being a man. Damn, sometimes check on me.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, but no, for real, just how committed again Lance is to the fam, and how he's had his moments of spiral out and kind of being a whole. I've had those fleeting moments in my life, but when it comes down to it, the
core
focus,
yeah,
kids are four kids, like, I get it. And then really, I don't, while I defend the shit out of Harp on this, I don't really connect with Harp in any particular way. I admire how driven he is, and his creativity and all that, but he is a self-centered, selfish son of a bitch, and I really can't get past or right. I'll say this, as I mentioned earlier, though, Harp is the one that notices stuff about his friends and his boys and isn't afraid to put it out there, while everybody else is kind of going along with the flow and let him be happy. He's getting married. Let him do this. That's what's happening. But he's the one like, nah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna he's the only one that noticed when Mia was sick, right? Like, he's as selfish and as self-centered as he is in tune with who his people are and when they're not right. So I would like to say that I've got that piece of it in me as well. So I connect with in various ways with these characters, which is part of the reason I love these series, and I hope they keep making them.
Yeah.
They ain't doing shit no way, so they might as well keep making them.
God damn.
So Daoud Lawson someone said B. Foss was a dancer back in the Shambana days.
I saw that, and I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
wait,
thank you.
When we say dancer, what if all right, so that's how I relate to Candace. We both had our stripper. My stripper name was Buttery Soft. Anybody on the Panthers that happen to be watching flag football knows. So we used to have we'd party all the time together outside of playing football, and we all had stripper names for each other. My stripper name was Buttery Soft. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Lord.
No.
Thank you for that horrible image.
Wait, I ain't get to stretch. Hold on. Hey, thank you for bringing that up, Kenny. I'm sorry I missed that.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah. So on that note, appreciate everybody for watching. Appreciate you all sharing this time with me on Saturday, ladies. I love these. We had upwards of 40 some odd people watching at one point. So I hope everybody watched and enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed the series. And again, Happy New Year. I hope 2023 brings everything everybody ever hoped for. We know that's not how life works, though. So even the rough times, I hope you push through. And may the worst times of 2022 be your best times. No, that's not how that saying goes. Is that how that should go? I butchered it. I don't remember. But anyway.
We're all like.
Wait, I don't think that's not how that should go. That's not how that should go. But I hope you all have a great new year. And we will be back on Wednesday in studio. Well, excuse me, Chantel will be back Wednesday in studio. Chantel will be having a few mental health professionals on, and we're going to discuss the mental health and wellness of Black men, and how we can help that progress and provide and give them space and opportunity to heal. I'll be back on the week after that. We will continue that conversation. We'll also have two different therapists, and a young man that has suffered from depression. And we will discuss specifically how Black women can support Black men in this mental health journey. So it's a two-piecer, 2 weeks in a row. I haven't decided what movie I'm doing next Saturday. I'll let you know. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards The Wood. But I'll let you know sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching, you all. Have a great rest of the weekend. Love you, ladies.
Thanks, guys. Love ya.
Talk to you soon. Let's get some. Look, I'm recharged. Let's get a little music going.
Do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big.
Hey, fella Angel, thanks for hanging out with us. We miss you.
Good move, Angela.
Coming in hot.
My go-to move.
Coming in hot, just like the fajita. I write what I live, my life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow, just like.